Hello, and welcome to the Word, Episode 1, Genesis, Chapter 1. In this series, we will be going through the Bible, chapter by chapter, discussing what each chapter means, and how we can link that with modern day science, modern day discoveries, modern day technologies. And hopefully, together, you will come to the same conclusion as I have. That there is only one explanation for the glory and the wonders that are contained in our universe. And that is that it has a creator, the Almighty God. There are many different theories about how the universe has been created. The most common theory, the Big Bang. There seems to be an element of proof that this is indeed how our glorious universe came to be. If we take that as fact, how can we link that with the words in Genesis chapter 1? Let's listen together to the first chapter of the Gospel and then analyse and see how we can link it all together.
Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said,
"Let there be light."
And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said,
"Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said,
"Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear."
And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said,
"Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth."
And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said,
"Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth."
And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said,
"Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven."
And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying,
"Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth."
And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said,
Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind.
And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said,
Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them,
Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
And God said,
Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat.
And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Powerful words. So we've looked at the creation of the universe there in Genesis chapter 1, the creation of life and the earth as we know it, with all the vegetation and all of the creatures. Darwin, the great theorist, who came up with the theory of evolution that says creatures have evolved over thousands and millions of years, repented. On his deathbed, after spending a whole life devoted to opposing the theory that God created life, he took all of his work back and proclaimed that there was one true creator. If we look at the very first verse of Genesis, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning of what? Albert Einstein says that our universe is like a mysterious fabric called space-time, in which space and time were created at the same time, with the Big Bang. When God talks about the beginning, he talks about the beginning of space-time. God does not live of this universe. In God's world, time is infinity. 1 day is of 100 days, and 100 days is of 1. So if God is not of this universe, and he is not of our time, it stands to reason that he could have been the force that created the Big Bang. You see, the Big Bang is just a theory, but there is some scientific evidence to say it is true. Light travels at the fastest speed known to man. The only thing that travels faster than light is the expansion of space itself. When we look at distant stars, we're not looking at them as they are now. We're looking at them as they were millions of billions, thousands of years ago. The closest star to us is in the star system Alpha Centauri, just over 4 light years away. This means the amount of distance that light can travel in a year, which is approximately 6 trillion miles, it's 4 of those years away. So we are looking at that light as it was 4 years ago. When you look at this and you look further back in time, you can see that there was a point where the first stars were born, some 300 or so million years after the Big Bang. Scientists believe that the Big Bang occurred sometime around 14 billion years ago. According to the Bible, life, the universe, and all things were created around 6,000 years ago. But in God's time, 1 billion years could be a minute, could be a day, could be a year. You cannot use our conventional, logical way of thinking when discussing God's creation, because none of us can truly understand the Father. When I was on my journey towards finding the Lord, I had great debate with myself, because I have always been of a scientific mind. But there was one line that summed it all up for me. A survey was done between the world's most prolific scientists and most genius minds, and it was determined that there are 5 things required in order for our universe to exist as it does today. And they are the following: time, force, action, space, and matter. Matter is the thing that all things are made from. And what is the first verse in the Bible? In the beginning, time, God, force, created, action, the heavens, space, and the earth, matter. Join me again soon as we go through Genesis chapter 2.